Okay. Um, I can right click and go frame all. Okay, starts good there. Keeps going good. Keeps going good, keeps going good, keeps going good. Right here it would fall off. So let's see if we can affect that without breaking everything else. Okay. Looking pretty good around this corner. Oh. Okay, time to give it a test. I'm going to use my sphere that I brought down here earlier, and I'm going to bring it way up to the top. And I need to add my dynamics. Now you want your sphere to be big enough so it fits in here without touching to start off. So we'll come down about 21 maybe. And I'm just going to hold command and kind of spin around it, make sure it's not touching anywhere. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and add our dynamics. So I'm going to click on my sphere. I'm going to go to Tags, Simulation Tags, Rigid Body. I'm going to change the collision shape to Moving Mesh. I am then going to go into my cloner object, and I'm going to add a tag, Simulation Tag. This one I want a collider body. Notice how these dynamic tags look a little bit different. The reason is one of them will be moving and affected by gravity. The other one will allow collisions but will not be affected by gravity. So on my cloner, I want all of my cloned items to be affected by the tag. So I need to come here under collision, inherit tag, and say apply tag to children. And then I need to come to collision shape and change this to static mesh. And what the static mesh is going to do is it's going to use the mesh of the geometry instead of something like the bounding box. Okay, I'm going to hit play and I'm going to see what happens here. We first need to see if this ball will roll down completely to the bottom without falling off. If that happens, then we're going to bake our dynamics. So that's our first thing we need to do. I'm going to pause this real quick so that I can see this ball better. I'm going to double click down here and make a material to put on it. In the color channel, I'm going to choose a texture, surfaces, checkerboard. And I'm going to go into that texture and I'm just going to change it to a red beach ball. Drop that on my sphere. There we go. And I'm just going to let this do its work. And we stopped. So there's something going on. Something going on right there I need to check out. Not sure what would cause it to stop there. Come on, come on. Okay, I was playing with some settings a little bit ago, and I need to go look at those settings really quick. Yes, okay, so if I do Command D, it'll bring up my project settings, and in Dynamics Expert, I was playing around with my collision margin. I'm going to turn that back to 1 because that's where it should be. That's where the default is. I'm going to rewind and start this over and see what happens. In the beginning, I was talking about scale, and I was telling you that I would, my sphere was only 0.75 centimeters, so I had to go into the collision margin and change that. That was not the right fix for what I was trying to do. So hopefully it'll now get past this point, and you can see it's working pretty good there. So far so good. And you can see ever so slightly that this is twisting. And if I click on my sphere, I can rotate around it better. This will be nice if it actually gets down to the bottom on the first test. Okay, this last little bit I am not going to worry about. I'm going to show you what we can do to take care of that. You can have lots of different things happen at the end of the animation right there. But if I go into my helix, let's see. Oh no, it's in the spline wrap. Offset. I can change. No. I think it's in my from. Yeah, what does that do? What I'm worried about is my track's so twisted here. Okay, that's not going to do it. I was actually hoping I could make... Let's see, that's my null, that's my cloner, that's my helix. Start angle, end angle, height. Let's see, spline wrap. I was thinking that the to and from would make this work. But what that's doing is it's decreasing the size, but it's not... clamp doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this last tiny little bit here. What's going to happen is it's going to roll off right here. And I haven't figured out a way to fix that yet, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. Let's see. Okay, baking dynamics. So now that I know my ball is going to roll all the way down, I want to click on my dynamic tag. I'm going to go into the cache, and I'm going to bake the cache. And it's going to look at my animation frame by frame, and it's going to calculate the dynamics. And by baking the cache, it's going to allow me to do the rest of this tutorial much smoother and more quickly. It's going to allow me to set up my cameras and rewind and fast forward. If you've ever used dynamics and you haven't baked the dynamics, you can't like skip ahead to the end of the animation. You have to like let all the dynamics happen and be calculated frame by frame before you can like skip to the end. So that's, that's the reason why we're baking these. I'm going to be doing some camera work here and setting up the stage items next. So if you know all about stage items, well, see you later. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. Otherwise, stick around. We'll set the stage. Okay, dynamics are done. I'm going to go back to the beginning. And we have cookies. Baked cookies. And I'm just going to real quick, this should go a lot faster this time. Now up here on my dynamic tags, you can see that the tags are different. They look different. That is showing that I'm using a baked cache for this. And let me show you. I can now scrub through this back and forth. So that is much nicer. Okay. So stick around. We're going to use a stage item. And the way the stage item works, now I've never used the sky, foreground, background, or environment. What I'm using it for is this camera. So what I want to do is I want to start placing some cameras. So I'm going to go to the beginning of my animation, and I want to get a shot and set up what's going on here. So I want a shot of the starting of this animation. So I'm not going to be too particular. I'm just going to place a camera there. And then I'm going to hit play. And because I baked my animation, there we go. It's moving a little faster now. There it goes. I'm going to pause it right after it gets out of the frame. And I'm going to leave my camera there, but I'm going to go set up my next camera. I'm going to click on my sphere so that I can rotate around it. And I'm going to go maybe look at things from a little bit different angle. Make a camera here. Play it. Now I could be setting up the stage as I do this, but I'm going to pause it there. I'm going to leave that camera behind. And I want to get a totally different angle. Go to my sphere. I want to have a camera shot where it comes flying right past the camera here. So I'm going to make a camera. Push play. And there it goes. Let's see. Go ahead and get a wide angle shot maybe now. Kind of get a little bit of the big picture. Maybe something like this. Let's watch this go all the way around this corner. And we'll let it go a little more. We'll pause it. Click on my sphere so that I can rotate around my sphere. And maybe grab it from here. Grab another camera. There we go. Pause it. Hello. There we go. Add another camera, press play. And let's just set up one more camera to watch the finishing. I've already got quite a few. And it looks like it's going to fall off right about here. And yes, so what I want to do is I want it to kind of fall into the camera. So okay, so I'm going to put a camera here. Alright, so we've got 7 cameras set up. I'm going to rewind to the beginning. I'm going to click on my stage item, and I'm going to drop in my first camera. And I'm going to make a keyframe. Hold Control, click here, and the first keyframe is made. And I'm just going to keep going down and set up the way this stage works. Pause it right as it's about to get out of frame. Right there. I will drop my next camera in and make my keyframe. Press play. And I can always tell what camera I'm on by this little white target there. So just in case you forget where you're at, make a keyframe. Press play. Go to my next camera. This is my wide angle shot. Control, keyframe, play. And remember, I waited till it got way down over here somewhere. And we'll pause there. Drop in camera number 4. Make my keyframe. Zooms past the camera. Drop in camera number 5. Okay, I am going to go backwards. 1 frame, 2 frames. See, I hadn't made my keyframe yet, so I was able to go backwards. Now I want to make my keyframe. And I'm just going to see this 1 frame. Yes, okay. So we're going from this to this. So I think that's going to be a nice little transition. Out of the shot. Drag in camera number 6 and make my keyframe. Press play. And boom! I should add a camera vibrate right there. Okay, so I'm at frame 667. So now I can drop this down. Let's go with 675. 675. And I'm going to rewind and just watch it one time. Let's just kind of recap. We used a spline. We made the strut. We added some rails. We cloned it. We used the spline wrap. Oh, one more thing here. See all these green lines going everywhere? I can take my cameras and click on the stoplights here to, well, the top stoplight will make it not show up in my editor. Whoops. I don't want to do anything with my stage. Okay, so that way it's a nicer view when you're when you're editing and working in here. You don't need to see those cameras now. Sometimes seeing those camera lines are great. Okay, so we cloned it. We wrapped it around a helix. We added dynamics, both a collision tag and a rigid body tag. Alright, I think it's this. Let's see. I think it's this next one that's pretty nice. This one here. Vroom, vroom. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Alright. Have fun. Till next time.